with the village in tatters, those that committed such atrocities actually in line with those that, well, Rimuru really did perish against. Well, part of him. I feel like the journey ahead to completely take care of this kingdom is going to be slightly difficult. Although with the case of that holy knight being Shizu's student, friend, etc., there's definitely a way around that. But of course, this is the story of Rimuru and the village and everything in between. So he's not just going to give up now. How much more bloodshed are we going to see? How much more eating? How many more skills? Let's find out. And actually, getting a little more information on one of the demon lords and someone who's Rimuru's going to have a word with after all of this has calmed down. The thing is, if that anti-magic field wasn't put up, then there would be a lot more of a fight going on, and not as much damage. I actually told her. And is he trying to incite things further? Looks that way. And is he trying to, change the balance of how it's going to go forward? Of course, they're going to be kind of in her corner standing up for her. But after everything, someone who holds things with more of an iron fist would be less understanding. At least there's that. Rather than just going out with a straight on destroy the world policy. Scorched earth. This is, what does Clayman, stand to gain from doing all of this? Does he have ties with the Kingdom of Falmouth? Does he just want to see Rimuru really showing off a bit of his power? Put on an interesting show, as it were. He doesn't seem to be afraid of any repercussions. But having that... Hang on, her feet were floating above the floor. Having that kind of dual human and demon, can't remember what it was, while having her heart removed, put in a jar. Interesting circumstance you found yourself in. Did they not have enough high potions, or were they not? That is the power of that reincarnated dude. He woke up quick. If you die, you just need more training. I mean, she only just finished wrapping it. And now having a bit more of an understanding of that spatial magic. I see he's back on his feet easily. There are still people injured and trying to rest up. Well, at least everyone has immediately gone quiet and averting their eyes. I thought it was like, oh, is he gonna say for her? But no, rather than telling, follow. I think we can tell pretty easily where this is headed. Now who's really going to be the one destroying the kingdom? Rimuru or Gobta? That's a cry. And destroyed her horn as well. What about the kid? You might need to control that, Rimuru. I think that immediately tells us exactly his current state of mind. Even in a time like that of grief, still listening to his master. Thanks, Grey Sage. I see. So yeah, one of the comments was kind of right. Yeah, I say kind of just right. Replicating the mask. Yeah, the Grey Sage isn't like omniscient. I guess having someone to ask, even if it is like an automated system. Shock. Just give it a while. Well, Gobta and goblins and whatnot are technically monsters and whatnot, aren't they? He shed quite a few tears. That was an interesting little thing when he jumped out of the carriage. I saw the word fully. So, what you're saying that there's a chance? if it's not causing any initial danger, then maybe you can like reverse engineer it. The mask can't endure the magic pressure. That's one way that it won't just return to magicules. Well, that's good timing for you to come in and say this. But giving him away and some hope. But also returning everyone back from the brink while being, a fairy tale would lead him to be a very, very powerful ruler going forward. Especially, hang on a minute, we slaughtered all of those lot. And the Great Sage did say fully. So either this is something that even the Great Sage isn't in knowledge of, or it's something that transcends. Just don't reveal yourselves. And I'm guessing the next steps in our journey is going through this. Okay. Not sure we need such a flashy reveal, but okay. That's some interesting... let's not think too hard about that, actually. Other people getting involved. And yet... Okay, destroying an entire kingdom because of your pet friend. Is this Milim? So, hang on, your story about reviving everyone with a small chance, you've just told the story that the dragon was, brought back to life, but didn't have a soul. And how are you going to, overcome that issue? So, next step, become a demon lord. Yes. However, they are all kept in the surrounding atmosphere. It's better than 1%. Oh yeah, pie. Is that a 3% for all of them, or 3% for each individual? I think Rimuru as a Demon Lord would be a lot more approachable than some of the others. Huh. And how long have they known that? It was a ruse all along! Then why were they so useless? How long ago was that? Was that story supposed to have taken place? The problem is, if there is just ramifications for the attack on the village, it would give some places, especially Falmouth, justification. See, we were doing the right thing. The monsters are attacking us. Like true hypocrites. Vroom. A barrier of your own. I mean, ever since... Was this back with the Chernobylius? Because they were trying to make the Orchid Demon Lord. Oh, looks like he's going farming. The thing is, to gather these souls, is he going to use it on, those who are past redemption? Or visit a few villages on the way? Doesn't seem that way, because, Rimuru has been quite upstanding so far. Ooh, nice pretty lights. Her judgment. Hang on. Well, that's one way to shut him up. This is Rimuru we're talking about. There'd be I think there's something more behind the words, especially considering Clayman holds her heart. And yet their clothes are fully intact. What are you crying for? You had to be so obtuse, didn't you? So... the fact that he could work all of that out while focusing on everything else. Is he going to try to go and grab her, original heart and replace it at some point? This might be a lot to take in right now. Well, as long as she now spends her days pledging allegiance to the town and everything. I feel like she's going to do that anyway. Possibly. She doesn't have anything that would, be a reason for her to turn down the offer. I think, considering the interaction just a few seconds ago. He lost. He can bide his time. Hold on, you've got to, there's a few more steps in between, replacing the king. A full reshuffle. So, is he just going to become a puppet king? I don't think he has what it takes to rule a nation. This is the first they're hearing of that. See, that's how true friends talk to each other, right? But bringing themselves together, forming a plan. And now it's not just getting revenge on the kingdom. It's a step on the greater plan of bringing everyone back. And considering we had that little fairy tale, are we going to see Milim's attachment to Rimuru as her best friend in a different light now? But considering the apparently what it takes to become a demon lord is just a hefty amount of human souls. And this demon seed, whatever. You can definitely tell why some of the other demon lords have been... Hang on, how did that fairy become a demon lord? Have certain attitudes. What kind of disasters did Clayman do to get in his position? But knowing his tricks is probably a long, drawn-out affair. But also, if Rimuru succeeds in his plan of bringing everyone back, becoming a demon lord, joining the high ranks, if that story was about Milim and she sees what he's attempting to do, how's she going to take it? Where he hopefully succeeds, where she only had partial results. We do seem to be on the cusp of an all-out war. One that might be justly deserved, taking down an entire kingdom, and another which is very much not been really explained in the slightest. But after the tragedy of seeing his friend on the floor like that, do you think Gobta is going to up his training regime? Be a true disaster like we know he can be. But it does look as though the Great Sage is going to need to update the annals of information. There's a few feats that might be slightly unique to Rimuru's current situation. But putting up that third barrier is actually quite a damn good idea, because if the big magic barrier gets taken down somehow, or if the one being put up by the kingdom, I don't know, we've completed our objective. Let's go home for a bit until the knights return. But does that mean they're going to have to be up and chanting and powering that crystal for a week before the invasion force arrives? Don't envy that job. I also didn't really expect to be seeing the birth of the new king and queen of Falmouth, but it's one way for that little story of the hero to go. But since those human sea monsters is nothing more than just material and maybe XP farms, do they treat anyone else like that? They'll crush you with unbearable force because you dare step in the way of their trade path. Now, I'm not expecting something on the scale of like a 100,000 soldier battle, a siege of a Minas Tirith. Would be cool though. And I'm sure that you kind of want to see it as well. If you have any insight, something that might not have been expressed, consider letting me know down below. Maybe even dropping a like since you made it this far. And if you want to make sure not to miss the next episode, maybe even subscribe. It is shocking how many of you have actually done that, considering where I started. There's hope for us all. I'm just a moron on the internet. Make sure you take care of yourselves. See you in the next one. Should the time come that my channel lays resting along the floor, I know that all of you will give it about 4 seconds of thought and then carry on with your day. But yet, I still need to thank my patrons because they have given me this wonderful village, community, and friends. So, to Sal, Electric Ant, Arthea, Noku, Raywin, Shiwan, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Matt, Rasmus Paulson, Girly, Dark Shadow, 7899, Kite, Saltitron, Mauricio Lozano, and everyone else. Truly, thank you.